If you're wondering what I ate for dinner, hamburger helper. My wife said, oh, we should do something quick, you know, because she has to work today. She's like, do something that you can make at home. That's quick. By the way, hamburger helper is not quick. I'll tell you in a moment. She's like, let's do hamburger helper. And she's like, her favorite is Italian shells. Now, I had never had the Italian shells. When I was a kid, my parents used to make hamburger helper. They used to make beef stroganoff, cheeseburger, and lasagna flavor. I thought that beef stroganoff and lasagna flavor were pretty good. I actually absolutely hated the cheeseburger flavor. I thought it was gross. I thought it was like very fake cheese tasting. Okay? And so when my wife said, oh, you know, I like Italian shell flavor. Let's try, because she hasn't had it in a long time either. And I said, okay, we'll do it. Whatever. It's something quick, right? It's not quick at all. So first you have to fry the meat up by itself, which in itself takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Then you have to drain all the fat out of the meat, put the meat back in the skillet. Then you have to start putting in all these ingredients, the shells, a bunch of milk, a bunch of hot water. Then you have to put the packets of seasoning in, and then you have to start cooking it and to a boil and stir it. Okay? That alone, to get it to a boil, takes about another 5-10 minutes. Then when that's done, it says you have to simmer it for 25 minutes and stir it constantly so it thickens. So here I am thinking this is going to be like a 10-minute thing. It took me a fucking hour to make hamburger helper. I'm like, why does it take so long? I thought it was something fast. I thought the whole point of hamburger helper was that you're like a parent, you don't have a lot of time, you need something quick to make for your family, so you just grab hamburger, you throw it in, you mix it in, you stir it, it's done. This was like an hour of work, and then after that, you know, cleaning and everything. And then on top of that, so you know, after 25 minutes of stirring and simmering, it actually did thicken up, because at first it was actually liquidy and disgusting. I didn't think it was going to be thickened at all, but it actually did thicken properly and cooked properly. And by the end of the 25 minutes of stirring it, finally it's ready to go. So I put it on my plate, I go to eat it. First of all, it's steaming hot and there's no way to wait. Like, I'm like, I don't have time to wait a half an hour for this to cool off. I have to eat because I have shit to do before my second stream. So I had to eat it. I burned my mouth. My tongue's completely burnt now because it was so hot. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like fucking, it's steaming hot. And it took me like 20 minutes to eat it, and it was still hot. When I was eating the last piece, it was still hot. As I'm eating it, I realize this is one of the most disgusting things I've ever had in my life. It was devoid of any kind of actual seasoning flavor. It was the most bland, generic, flavorless cheese I've ever had in my life, and that includes like bad mac and cheese. This is worse than that. It was like, they call it Italian shells. There's nothing Italian in that. There's no tomato flavor at all. There's no oregano. There's nothing that you would say, oh, this is an Italian dish. It tastes completely like factory cheese. You know what I mean? Like, they took real cheese and they fucking scraped off the edges of the dried up pieces and dried it and dried it and dried it and dried it, and then you add milk and water to it. It's supposed to be cheese. It's not. It's fucking disgusting. It was like, so I'm eating it, like, there's zero flavor. The only thing that had flavor in the whole thing was the beef, because of course it was ground beef that I had cooked, and it had a little bit of beef flavor to it. The thing was nasty. As I'm eating it, I was like, oh man, I really want to eat this, but it's all I have. I don't have anything else ready to eat. Like, I guess I got to eat it, so I forced it down, and I don't, you know, it was not appetizing at all. It was disgusting. So what I'm hoping is that my wife agrees with me, and not that she actually liked that, because I don't know how she could have liked that. The thing is, I remember as a kid eating hamburger helper and liking some of the flavors. Maybe this one, because I never had this one before, maybe she's misremembering what kind it was, or maybe they changed it over the years, because the thing is, it's called Italian shells. There's nothing Italian about it. Like I said, there's no tomato, no oregano, nothing that would be considered an Italian ingredient is in that dish. It's just shells with disgusting bland cheese sauce, and that's it. There's nothing else to it. It's disgusting. I'm very upset. No, I'm really upset, because that was my dinner, and I worked an hour to make it, and it's terrible. It's one thing if you're like, oh, this is something quick, right? I'm going to toss it in a pot. It takes like 10, 15 minutes to warm. Oh, it's terrible. Like, that's happened to me. You buy one of those pre-made soups, you warm it in a pot, eat it. Oh, it's bland. It's terrible. Big deal. All you do is throw it in a pot, rinse the pot, you're done. No, this is like an hour of fucking work. An hour of my time. My time wasted. Fuck you, hamburger helper. Fuck you, you fucking ugly cartoon claymation hand motherfucker. I'm gonna crush your ass. I'm gonna squish that, rip that red nose right off your face and shove it right up your ass. You're gross. Hamburger Helper was terrible, dude. But again, maybe there's better ones. Maybe there are actual better flavors of Hamburger Helper. Maybe I got the worst one. I don't know. All right, anyway.